Hello. Hopefully I am live and you can all hear me. If you could all give me a little heads up. Let me know that you can hear me. Yes, I'm so excited. Fabulous. Okay, guys. So it sounds like there's a slight delay or lag in my speaking, but hopefully we can all keep up. Right, so I've just done my grounding and protection. I hope you've done yours too. It's not absolutely essential, but it helps. It helps keep us a really nice, clear space to work in together tonight. So I've wanted to do this for a while. Tonight I'm not just going to do some live twin flame checks. I'm going to explain to you how these work and how they came about. Because I talked about it probably when these checks were in their infancy, when I first started doing them a little over a year ago. And, you know, since then, I've not really kind of explained what I've learned. But before I begin, I want to share with you these cards that I pulled before we began tonight. I thought it was really powerful, the ones that came out. We've got Activated Earth, Power Places, Ley Lines, Trust Where You're Led. Whale and Orca Elders, Share Your Song, Frequency of Sound, Diving Deep. Star Family, you're part of a team of souls, call in support. Star Bathing, Light Body, Crystal Grid, Transmission and Activation. And Double Mission, Light Worker, Starseed, Serve the World by Being You. Isn't that a beautiful lineup before we begin our Unite the Collective guided meditation tonight? I'm so excited to share that with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to start off by telling you what a twin check is, in a nutshell. I'm going to explain how I learned to do this, how it works in brief, and then I'm going to demonstrate some of them for you live. So twin flames share an energetic field. And that's to say that in addition to your own outer and inner etheric field, there's a field of energy that connects you to your twin. So much like some mediums and psychics can look at a person's energy and their aura and their chakras and they can read them, well, so too can you, or psychics or mediums like me, look at how your energetic connection is actually shared with your twin. So when I do a twin flame connection check, that's kind of what I do. I look at the energy between you and your person. And this also allows me to see if you're dealing with a real twin flame or not. Because the person who isn't your twin flame would not be connected to your energetic field in the same way that a twin flame is. So the best way to describe this practice is as an energy reading. I guess from a psychic perspective, it's clairvoyant from the visual. And in my case, I have the support of my guides, so I use mediumship as well. But anyone can look at how your energy is connected to your twins. If you're intuitive in any way and you're able to review and read your own chakra system and your aura or receive messages from spirit about them, then you can use the same method to inquire about your twin energy connection. Now, the reason I offer this service is because it allows me to see where a person is at in their journey and where their focus needs to be healing-wise. And all of that information is made available to me during a reading of your energy. So for some, it's just helpful, isn't it, to know what kind of spiritual connection you're dealing with. And to be clear, I only read the energy of twins because twins share that energetic field. If you're dealing with a karmic or a high-level soulmate or an ascension partner or some other kind of spiritual connection, there will of course be, energy for each of you, but you don't share an energy field like twins do. Now, lots of people believe that another person can't tell you who your real twin is. And I have to disagree with that. From how I see it, you share an energetic field with your twin. And if you or any other person can see and read energy, then they can see how twins are connected. It's really as simple as that. You're either energetically connected or you're not. So as I said before, you can use whatever intuitive methods you're comfortable with, just as you would to review your own chakra system, for example. But I do have classes on twin flame energy healing, and that focuses on how I read the energy, the twin energy. But I invite you to use your own psychic work, to explore the connection yourself as well. Okay, so I want to tell you a bit more as well about how I how I discovered all of this twin flame energy and healing stuff, because after my awakening, I was drawn to learn Reiki and energy healing, and over the course of a year, I completed Reiki 1 and 2, and I was offering distance Reiki to friends and family at this time to help me develop my confidence and skill. And at this stage, I was really early on in my psychic development, like things were happening to me that I didn't understand. But the Reiki training I received didn't include any psychic work. So the whole thing unfolded really unexpectedly for me, because when I tuned into a person to give them distance Reiki, I was able to see them and their energetic field. I could see it very clearly. I could see their aura and their chakra system, and sometimes even issues in their physical body. So other times I'd have visions of people that they'd known or were involved with, or people that seemed to be with them, like in their energy. And sometimes I saw dark things as well that I sensed really strongly shouldn't be there. Now, my Reiki master was unable to tell me what all of this was, and she was quite firm in saying, you know, whatever it is, it's not Reiki. So the previous year, I'd actually had a spiritual clearing from a guy called Dr. Terence Palmer. He's a leading academic on the subject of spirit release therapy. And I had a clearing with him on recommendation of my regression therapist. And so he was the next person I approached in search of guidance, because I was seeing these dark things attached to people. And I wanted to know why I was seeing these things above all else. And I guess I wanted to know what I was supposed to do about them. So Dr. Palmer was really helpful. He invited me to take his class in spirit release therapy. And so a few weeks later, off I went down to Corsham, which is near Bath in England. There were 9 other students. And as the class began, one of the first questions that I was asked by Dr. Palmer was, are you a medium or are you a facilitator? Now, I had absolutely no clue what he was talking about. And I said this, I said, I'm neither of those things. And this prompted him to ask me, well, what are you doing here? So I explained all the stuff that had been happening to me. And him and the other students, they thought it was really funny that I should not refer to myself as a medium. They pointed out that whilst sending distance Reiki, I was seeing spirit. So that in itself is mediumship. So I was pretty surprised. And the problem was, these mediums that I was sharing this class with, they knew exactly what they were doing. They were able to sit in a chair in the middle of the room, tune into their guides, and boom, they could just look at a person's energy field and they could clear it just like that, whilst simultaneously explaining out loud to a facilitator, who's the person that records the notes and stuff. They were explaining out loud what they were seeing and feeling about this as the energy and what they were getting while they were doing the clearing. Now, I had no idea how to do that. Everything I'd seen so far had happened to me when I was on my back in deep meditation, and it was really random. I didn't have any control over what I did or didn't see, other than the basic layers of energy that were, to me, part of my Reiki work. So I watched all of these mediums get up and demonstrate one after the other, and I couldn't do that. And Dr. Palmer reminded me that if I was going to pass module 2 of the course, I was going to have to demonstrate like these mediums had. So it was a bit overwhelming. But that during that course, I learned all about how a person's energetic field works, what can block it, what can become attached to it. I learned the science of spiritual possession, and I saw it demonstrated over and over again by a collection of very skilled mediums and facilitators, but I didn't know how to do it. I just had 8 weeks to learn how between then and the next module. So I was super overwhelmed. I mean, it had never occurred to me until this point that I was a medium, and it was made clear to me by Dr. Palmer that I had to work with a spirit guide if I was going to do this work as well, that the actual clearing was the spirit guide's job. I'm just a viewer or messenger for the facilitator, who is the person who directs the spirit guide's checks and clearings. So I only had one experience with a spirit guide at that point, and that was the year before, and it turned out to be a false guide, which was one of the reasons I'd actually sought a clearing from Dr. Palmer on referral in the first place. Now, looking back, it seems really silly that even then I hadn't considered myself mediumistic, but I didn't see or hear dead people, so somehow I didn't associate what I was experiencing with mediumship. But I was really nervous about how to connect to my real guides. I was fortunate enough to be introduced to a guy called Mike Williamson, and I found Mike through Dr. Palmer's Facebook group. Now, he's a really well-known British medium. He deals with the release of earthbound spirits. That's to say, he clears people and homes of ghosts, or what you commonly refer to as ghosts. These are spirits who, for some reason or another, haven't found their way to the light, and they can cause problems for people here on Earth. So Mike Williamson teaches mediumship, and specifically how to connect with your own spirit guides and counsel. And he's written some excellent books on the subject of this and the connection between spiritual possession and mental health. And I've linked those in the description box below if you're interested in reading them. But when I started having one-on-one lessons with Mike, I learned really quickly how to safely connect with my guides and how to discern a real guide from a false one. And it was actually during this time that my tarot guide Arthur came in. He instructed me to set up the YouTube channel you see here today. And I had no idea what I was in for at this stage. Yeah, I'd been reading tarot for 20 years and I'd never really been very good at it, to be honest. But when I sat down and read with Arthur, information just flowed from me in a different way. I didn't even know then that this was channeling. You know, I had no clue what I was doing, really. But by the time Module 2 of Dr. Palmer's Spirit Release Therapy course came around, I was able to talk confidently with Arthur. But unfortunately, he had nothing much to say about Spirit Release Therapy. Like, if I asked him about chakras or the spirits that I was seeing, he would literally tell me that that wasn't his domain of awareness, and that I would need to ask someone else. But that someone else just seemed madly elusive. So it was a while before Arthur introduced me to John, and I've got to be honest, my faith in spirit took a bit of a battering at that point, you know, doubt setting, because I started to feel a bit crazy about all of this. For those of you that have ever gotten on the mediumship path, I'm sure you can relate, because, you know, having people talk to you in your head is traditionally thought of as being schizophrenia, right? Yeah, and I really struggled with this idea a lot. It seemed really easy to accept Arthur, even as like this wild figment of my imagination, because whatever he was or wherever he came from, he just helped me tell a story in the cards, you know, and it kind of flowed, and I don't know, it just seemed kind of risk-free. But John was this like looming silent presence that seemed very serious, and he kind of looked very Jesus-like with sort of this beard and gowns. So obviously he's not Jesus, but, you know, I just couldn't get comfortable with this different type of guide. And I tried to do SRT on my back in meditation with a friend guiding me. And John was there, but I just couldn't bring myself to speak to him. It was quite strange. But long story short, on the day of the Module 2 class, I had to leave my house at like 5:30 a.m. so that I could arrive on time in Bath. It's a pretty long drive from me. And just as I was about to set off, I heard my phone ping. And it was pretty early in the morning. And I really wish I hadn't looked at it, but I did. And my heart absolutely dropped, because it was from this tarot client of mine that had found me through my YouTube channel. And she'd been having a really difficult time with her journey. She'd been feeling really suicidal sometimes. And I scanned her email, and it was all of that suicidal stuff. And I was really worried about her. Now, I didn't want to rush and reply whilst I had to get on the road. And I was really nervous about not finding the time in my day to reply properly, because I was going to be in class. And in the end, I just kind of set off on my journey wondering what I should say in response to her, or how I could help, you know, really ruminating about it. But as I drove to Bath that morning, and I was mulling this over in my head, I became aware of John, this spirit guide. I became aware of him in my car, and it sounds really sort of weird to explain this now, but I could see him kind of to the left of me so clearly. I mean, he wasn't in my car in the physical sense, but somehow I could see him there. It's really hard to explain. I understand now this is what we call third eye vision, but it was so crystal clear to me that day that it was like he was actually in my car, and it weirded me out a bit. You know, I was actually on a motorway, or what I guess what you guys call a freeway at the time, and I was wondering if I was actually hallucinating. It wasn't funny, but his silent presence just kind of stayed. And from what Mike had taught me, I just got myself really calm and I focused on driving. And after a good while, when I was more still, I decided to speak to him, to speak to John. And so I explained to him about this email that I'd received that morning. I asked him if he could please clear this client of mine as in the way that I'd learned to clear in module 1 of my class. And he said to me, what she needs is that we clear her twin flame connection. Now, let me be clear at this stage. I had no idea what that was. I'd never heard that term. And he showed me the way that our auric fields merge. He showed me how the energy moves between twins. And right there, before my very third eye, I watched him do all kinds of mad clearings on this kind of twin connection. Now, I have to remind you, I was actually driving at this point. I was trying to follow what was happening, and I was trying to drive safely, all the while, like completely in awe at all of this that was happening, but not knowing if it was real or what it meant. And by the time I arrived at class, I was much better acquainted with John, at least. And it did transpire that I didn't need to be on my back in meditation to see or hear him, because here he was, clear as day. And I did demonstrate that day. I worked with John, and it all worked out great. But moving on from that, I'd learned spirit release therapy and how to work with John on spirit release therapy. But I wasn't really sure what to do with this new information about twin flame connections. I had already done quite a lot of research about twin energy and how it connected, but I hadn't found anyone that described it in a way that confirmed what I was seeing. So it was actually when I became friends with Made for Love that things got really interesting. I'm sure you guys know her and her channel. She's in hospital right now, so please do send her your big love and your best wishes for a speedy recovery. I know she appreciates your healing so much, and it really is helping. But so Made for Love and I, we set up our channels more or less at the same time as one another. And we started chatting, and I didn't have any other divine feminine friends then. I had no friends who understood the twin journey until I met her. And I guess in each other we found an outlet and an understanding for all the crazy that was happening to us at a psychic level. But Made for Love was as fascinated as I was by the way I was seeing twin flame energy. And it just felt like we were both pulled together for a reason at that time, because our curiosity was just off the charts, and it led us to seek some volunteers to practice on, because we wanted to see what other twins energy looked like. We wanted to find out what everything meant, and we both had small YouTube channels at the time, like, just a couple of thousand followers each, but we put out calls on our videos asking for people to practice on. And as you can imagine, we were inundated. We received hundreds of volunteers, and for weeks with Made for Love working as my facilitator and myself as the medium for John, my guide, we just looked at so many different sets of twins. We learned how the connection functions energetically, and more importantly, we learned how to clear it. So John explained to us that it was really important that we offer spirit release therapy specifically to the twin flame community, because twin flames have a high mission. They are warriors of the light. They're part of this great light army. They're being called to light, and they're being awakened and activated by the energy of their twin flame. And this means they have big light. And when you have big light, you're a target for darker force energies. So ensuring that twin flames understand grounding and protection and how to care for their energy and keep it clear was vital. And so it transpired, quite without my realizing it, that all of the things I'd learned so far on my spiritual journey had led up to this kind of, I guess, moment of delivery. It was kind of like, here's your mission, Charlotte. You need to help people stay clear and heal and to vibrate high. And after working on so many different sets of twins and like learning the ropes, Made for Love and I channeled a method of healing, clearing and reading the twin connection. We were able to follow the progress of a large group of twins that we worked on to get feedback on, you know, the accuracy and efficacy of our work. So once we were confident in what we'd learned, we began offering these services to the twin community, to you guys. And we do still offer those services. I also teach all of these modalities to anyone who wants to learn them and to share them in their own light work. You can find all the classes on my website. Links to all of that is in the description box below. But this twin flame connection check I'm about to show you, it's not currently available live on my website. It is included when you purchase Spirit Release Therapy for 2. But I do normally do the twin check sessions live. But I'm having some time off this work at the moment. As you know, Made for Love is in hospital. So she and I are both closed for these particular checks at the moment. But you will be able to still get them soon via the same service from her in an email report once she's out of hospital, which should be sometime next week. But in the meantime, you can still receive this as part of the Spirit Release Therapy service when you purchase it for 2. Now, I will offer standalone checks again at some point in the future. I do continue to teach this practice in the meantime to anyone who wants to learn. You can find classes for mediumship and connecting to your spirit guides, twin flame energy healing, tarot reading and spirit release therapy on my website. Again, all the links are down in the description box below. And if you do want to be notified of when I'm offering twin checks again, you can subscribe to my channel and just keep an eye on my community page here on YouTube, because that's where I'll update first. But you can also subscribe at my website as well. Now, I have got some prepaid twin check customers for this evening. I'm going to be doing their checks live. These are mini checks, but the first one I'm going to do a full and detailed check as I would in a private live session, and that lasts around 15 minutes. So you can see tonight exactly how it works. I'm not going to be offering any further paid checks tonight, so please don't send me money. But before we start the twin checks, because I've spoken for quite a long time, I just want to give you a chance to ask me any questions about what I've explained so far, if there's anything that you want to know. So I'm coming down to chat. I've been trying to follow it, but it's pretty difficult when you're speaking. So any questions? Has anyone got any questions about the twin checks, about how I see twin energy? I'm going to do the live demos for you, and then we're going to move to our fabulous guided meditation, which I'm so excited for. Delia, can you tell us more about false twin flames? So my understanding of a false twin flame is that this is a person they're probably more likely to be a karmic partner or some kind of other soul partner, and they have been compromised. And this can kind of mimic the signs, symptoms and synchronicities of a real twin flame journey. It's very difficult to sense for yourself if you're dealing with a false twin or a real twin or not, because I guess the best way to recognize is by meeting a real twin, and you feel the difference, because honestly it's still very intense and very similar. 1WTRE, you asked, are you a twin? Yes, I am. What is there besides medium and facilitator? Blank. So when I do the twin flame connection checks, I work independently, but when I do spirit release therapy, there is a medium and there is a facilitator, which is another person in a 3D that will take notes of anything I channel. Can you tell us more about how you tune into our energies for the twin check? So yeah, I mean, it's all about opening and connecting your channel. I can only speak about my own personal experience in terms of how I guess, open my channel and tune in. But for me, it's pretty instant now. This is something I do teach you how to do in my mediumship class, like how to open up and see. But it's really about maintaining a brainwave state called theta, which you do through meditation practice. And when you're really practicing this, you can kind of move into that altered state in just a few short breaths. But when I tune in, I look through my third eye. So I'm just reading through some of the questions. Kathleen Riley, you did a TF check and said that he was false, but Made for Love says the same person is. Why would it show differently? Okay, this is actually a really good question, because I have to be really honest with you. There is, I get asked this a lot, sorry. can you be wrong when you do these checks? And yes, everything we do as human beings, there is a margin of error. And I'm just a medium for spirit. And as someone who's also a spirit release therapist, I can tell you that our channels are not always 100% clear. Sometimes it's much the same as like having a poor phone connection when you're trying to have a conversation. Others, it's straight out interference. Or sometimes for a variety of reasons, it's just blocked. Or perhaps I'm not the right reader in those circumstances. I'm not infallible. Now, for me, especially when I do these live events, I watch back afterwards. I watch the video later and tune in again from a calmer space to kind of check each couple again. Now, on average, there is about a 1% margin of error. So it turns out that I'm about as accurate and effective as a condom. That's a weird analogy, but you get me, right? But yes, it could be that you're getting two different results. But I think this leads back also to the most important part, which is, you know, you've got to trust your own instincts. You've got to listen to your own intuition first and foremost. You've got to filter everything through your own layers of discernment. So Stephanie Sat asks, how often should twins protect? I haven't done it in a while. I mean, maintaining your own grounding and protection is sufficient. You can't be entirely responsible for your twins. You know, you may want to kind of help them out every now and then if you know they're having a rough time. But you can ground and protect your twin connection, but not necessarily your twin as an individual. But grounding and protection is something I do before and after practicing any spiritual work, and in the morning and before I go to sleep. So if I have a day where I'm not doing anything spiritual, it's literally morning and bedtime. But otherwise, I will do it before and after I open up in a spiritual way. And I advise that you guys do as well. Donna Marie, what kind of steps do you suggest for us to work on ourselves? I know they always say to heal ourselves. I'm curious, what are the ways people do that? This isn't something I'm really covering in this session because we're talking about the twin flame connection and energy specifically. But for me, I want to mention that one of the catalysts to my healing was regression therapy. I go to a lady in London. She does that actually offers Skype sessions though, and I still go every 10 to 12 weeks for regression therapy. It just helps you get to the root of the wounds that you perhaps aren't consciously aware of. You can find a link to her website in the description box of my video. I did include it there. She's absolutely fabulous. Let's have a look. Can my twin be in complete non-contact with me and still be connected with me? Yes, absolutely. Your twin is eternally connected to you energetically. Now, that light needs to be activated by one party awakening, and that's when it's almost like your energetic field becomes activated and lights up and connects. So once you've been in their conscious awareness and you theirs, and you've woken up to the twin flame truth, it only needs one of you to do that. The lights are activated, is my understanding. Kayla's Black Heart, in terms of how do you protect, I'm doing a guided meditation tonight, and I show you how to ground and protect at the beginning of that meditation. It's also mentioned in my twin flame healing video, how to heal through meditation. So you guys can find that in the twin flame healing list on my channel. Okay. What would dark energy that targets twin flames feel like? That's from Lana Sear. So it's different for most people, but I think the most obvious symptoms are headaches, sudden onset, anxiety, depression, or negative emotions, feelings in the body that don't seem relative to your circumstances. So, you know, if you've been having an otherwise good day and you suddenly feel very sad or anxious or angry, if you notice that, you know, you're headachy, all of these things. For some people, it could be more severe. You know, I guess spiritual attack can present in many forms, but there's a lot of information about it on my website if you wanted to dig more into that. And Dr. Palmer website is also really interesting for that. You can read about it on here. So there's also a link in the description box below. So Ivy Wiggins, when almost to the state of union, but you're in the last stages of healing and you feel stuck on it, do you have advice? I keep putting the energy in, but feeling not much progress. Again, that's kind of a healing question, not really for tonight's session, which is about twin flame connection checks. But meditation, it's always meditation and regression therapy for me. I can only speak for what's worked for me personally. And those are the two key things: to meditate every day, and regression therapy helps you take that deeper. How can I focus when I meditate? I seem not to be able to concentrate. That's from Pretty Punk 509. So it's just practice. If you've got a busy mind, work in meditation to keep it busy. There is an instructional video on my Twin Flame Healing playlist on my YouTube channel, and there will be a guided meditation tonight that might help engage a busy mind as well. Does twin flame energy always feel intense, or can it feel safe and comfortable yet still strong instead? Brandy Coletta, I think everyone's journey is individual and unique, and the energy ebbs and flows and feels different at different times. I think it's more important how you feel in your own energy and space. The more balanced and aligned you are within yourself, the more safe, comfortable and easy the twin flame connection energy will feel. Are these connection checks to see if someone is a twin or not, or is it to check on the connection itself and how it's doing? Caitlin, first and foremost, it's to check on the connection itself. But I guess for a lot of people, they just wanted that confirmation. So the two go hand in hand. I don't generally do one without the other. And the checking if you're actually with a twin or not is the quickest part. It just requires me to tune in and look, and I can see if that energy is connected or not. But reading the chakras and going through the twin connection check is intended to help you understand what stage of the journey you're at, and to kind of give you some guidance on that. Did I know my twin personally before I found out about the twin concept? That's from page M. Yes, I did. I had been connected to my twin for 3 years before I understood what a twin flame was. It was a really long time before I understood why everything was so goddamn weird. I'm not taking any more twin connection check bookings tonight. I'm sorry, guys. After my twin check, did you cut cords with my ex or karmic partner? I want to know if I have to do anything because he's still trying to interfere with my life. Lena G. So when we cut a karmic cord, it doesn't necessarily sever your real life connection with that person. What happens is that you take back autonomy and power over your karma so that you can resolve it independent of the other. You still have to take responsibility for your part of the karma and they theirs. It doesn't mean that, you know, this person is suddenly banished from your life. It just means that you no longer need to be connected to them karmically. So it's a responsibility of both parties to kind of take it from there, really. There's no guarantees. And karmic cords can reform if the higher self of both parties decides that they want to work it out together. So I couldn't comment on your personal situation, Lena, without having a look, but chances are you need to deal with your karma, girl. Okay. Charlotte, is the twin energy ring different when the person is engaged sexually with a karmic? So the energy of the ring is very responsive. I mean, I personally wouldn't be able to look at a twin's energy and tell you that if they were having sex in that particular moment, but that's something that twins can get a sense of themselves because the energy is so deeply connected. But thankfully, it's not something I have to bear witness to. I really don't want to be seeing everyone else's jiggy. Let's see, what else have we got? Can you and your twin flame not be meant to be together in this lifetime? Maybe only a lesson, because I do not see us coming together, from Lynn B. Your twin flame is destined for you, and you have woken up to this connection so that you can get in line with the divine plan. But you need to release this idea that whether you will or won't be together. This is a big subject to tackle on this particular live because we're meant to be focused on twin connection checks. But there is an article on my website called Return to One that explains that question for you, Limby. If you go to the video description box, there is a link to that. It says, read more about my twin flame awakening here in the first paragraph on the video description box. The article is called Return to One. I strongly recommend you read it if you want to understand about union energies between twins and whether or not you will come into to union or not. Okay, one more. You confirmed my DM was my twin but said he was blocked. We are in separation and he is currently in a third party situation. How does the DM become unblocked? They have to unblock themselves. I mean, I don't know if it's not clear from your question whether it was some kind of deliberate blockage or interference. That's something that can be cleared. So I imagine I would have cleared that for you if I've done a check for you and I'd seen it. But, you know, they have to work through it in their own time. I'm afraid there's no ideal answer to that one. I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear. Lisa, I feel all of these intense feelings about my twin, but I feel like he is not in the same spot as me. He's not reaching out, but I wish it was more. Yeah, that's really normal, girl. You just need to use that time to focus on yourself. That's really, it's the hardest part of the journey, I guess, but you do come past it. Okay. Right. So let's do this. I'm going to do the twin checks. So I'm just going to let you know who's on the list tonight. And if you're not on this list, please email me, because I've been through all the payments I've received. I've double checked them against the emails I've received. And on the list, in this order, we've got Sharanya and Akil, Jodie Marie and Lee Stephen, Navi and Carlos, Monica and Manuk, Irina and Andre, Kristin and Chris, Lauren and Spencer, Jessica and Eddie, Amanda and Pets. So if you've paid and you've not heard me on that list, then just drop me an email and I'll check it as I move through these. Just to let everyone that's watching know, I'm not accepting any more payments right now for twin connection checks. I'm just going to do these and then we're going to move to the guided meditation. So I will do this first twin connection check that's going to be 15 minutes long. That's so you can really understand how that works and how a twin connection check works. But before I begin, I just want to remind everyone that I share what I see when I do these checks. I share what I see and understand, and I share it with love and integrity. But the word of any medium, psychic or otherwise, is never right above your own. And that's to say that you've got to trust your own intuition. If I cannot see an energetic connection between you and that person, I'm going to be honest with you. But just because a person isn't your twin flame doesn't mean there isn't a spiritual connection between you. It just means that your energy is not connected in a way that twin flames are. Now, the twin flame journey is first and foremost about union with self. It's about learning unconditional love so that you can embody it and exist within it yourself. And if you were guided to this journey, it doesn't matter if you're dealing with a real twin or not. Make being divine and whole your key objective, and learn to love yourself. You know, learning to love yourself is valid to all of us. It literally transforms your life from one of lack to one of abundance and joy. So, you know, you've got to listen to your own intuition. That goes for watching any reader or healer. Learn to question everything and filter it through your own layers of discernment. Trust your own gut feeling always, especially when you're watching general readings. You know, not all the messages are going to be for you. You have to feel it out. And if you're interested in learning my technique for tuning into my highest truth, I am actually offering a webinar about it very soon. So you can find information on my website under classes. Again, links can be found in the description box below. So I'm going to get on with these twin checks. Then we're going to start our live meditation. Okay, so starting out, I'm going to start with Sharanya and Akil. Now, if this isn't your twin, Sharanya, I'm going to do, you're getting the full 15-minute clearing. If it isn't your twin, we'll pull some cards to get some information, some more clear information about what's happening in that connection. Okay. So, Sharanya and Akil. Sharanya, I don't see that you and Akil are twin flames. I don't see that there's any energetic connection between you there, or indeed that you have any twin flame lights activated. So what this suggests to me is that you haven't yet met your twin flame. Now, as I said, that doesn't mean there isn't a spiritual connection between you and Akil. I will do the longer connection check on someone else because obviously for Sharanya this isn't a twin flame. Now, everyone on this list tonight has paid for a mini read that's $22.22. These are normally about 2 to 3 minutes long. I'm going to do one full 15-minute one on a set of twins so you can see how that pans out like. But for Sharanya, we're just going to pull some cards for you and Akil to see what we can find out about what's happening between you. So we've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the 6 of Swords. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse. We've got the Hanged Man. And we've got the Fool. So for me, it feels like Akil is what I would describe as like a catalyst twin or an ascension partner. This is someone that is coming into your zone of awareness in order that they can trigger you into your awakening and surrender to self and spirit so that you can have that beautiful beginning. This person was always meant to move away from you, but in moving away from you, you know, they allowed you to wake up to the knowledge that you have to start taking responsibility for your own truth and your own path. So Akil, unfortunately, isn't a twin flame for you, but he, you know, there is a tremendous amount of learning here. You need to take this into meditation, is what I'm hearing. This is where you're going to find the truth of the connection. I'm hearing there is a lot of past life stuff for you here. And with that Wheel of Fortune coming up in reverse for you here, you know, there is some unresolved stuff between you and Akil that still needs to come to pass so that you can move forward and grow as an individual. So he does have meaning and purpose in your life, but this isn't a twin flame connection for you. Let's get some guidance for you. Right, we've got Serenity. So this is really beautiful. This is the Hermit energy. This is Virgo. And you can see in this card, this shows a woman meditating in front of a pink moon. You know, pink is a very spiritual colour. This is about connecting to your inner truth. So, you know, you've been guided to ask me for this for a reason. We've got the Ace of Swords here. You know, you are disconnected from your inner truth. And the truth of your connection lies within you. So I really, really hope that was helpful. Okay. Jodie, Marie and Lee Stephen, are you twins? Let's have a look at your connection. Jodie, Marie and Lee Stevens. I don't see that you're twins either. I don't see that you are twin flames. Neither do I see that you've got twin lights activated. So again, Jodie, I'm going to pull some cards for you. Let's look. Right, so we've got the Ace of Swords, 4 of Swords in reverse, the King of Swords, the Ace of Crystals in reverse, the 5 of Cups, the Queen of Cups. It will clarify. Yeah, so for me, Jodie Marie, this personally, I feel like this is a person that's really up in their head and you're just kind of overflowing with love. It does feel like you're really kind of polar opposite energies here, but I also think that, you know, Lee may have been some kind of rebound interest following a really serious betrayal, because he's opened you up to some powerful truth, but your new beginning is never meant to be with him, is what I'm hearing. You've got the 6 of Cups in reverse here, which makes me think that there's some kind of unresolved past life stuff between you that really needs you to well, this needs to be focused on and addressed. But for me, it just feels like you've gone round and round in circles with this. But what's really interesting, we've got the Queen of Cups here and the King of Swords. So that's air energy, water energy. So that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius versus Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I was seeing this as you and Lee, but we've also got the King of Cups come up in reverse. And I just really don't think Lee is your twin flame counterpart. He's some kind of really, I don't even think he's a false twin. He's some kind of, this is more karmic. It's more karmic, but because there's a kind of soulmate connection, there is a very spiritual kind of purpose to your connection. He was definitely there to wake you up, but it was also to help you process some significant betrayal trauma. So I'm sorry I can't do the full energetic check on you, because as I see it, you're not twins, and I'm not able to look at a shared connection, but I really hope that was helpful. Okay, Navi and Carlos. We need a real twin couple soon so I can show you guys how this works. Navi and Carlos. So Navi and Carlos are definitely twins. Now, the way I can see this is that the ring of light that connects the twin couple becomes activated and lights up. And I can see both the divine feminine and divine masculine positioned within the ring. Let's have a look, what else? So I'm going to go ahead and do a mini clearing on Navi first, and this is how I would do it in a live twin flame connection check. So Navi has got a very bright, luminous crown. It's slightly inverted, and the energy is moving in through it, but it's not kind of moving in and out as freely as it could be. She doesn't make enough time to connect back to spirit. She forgets to leave her intentions and desires and objectives in the hand of spirit. Her third eye is very, very large, so this person is very clairvoyant. And this is the divine feminine energy here, so very, very receptive to spirit. There is the residual blockage here, which to me can indicate some kind of substance abuse. I'm hearing in this case it's probably anti-anxiety medication. The throat chakra is overactive. It's kind of at in the energy of being, I guess, using your voice to reinforce your self-worth. You know, a lot of your communication is intended to kind of help you get that confidence boost that you need. So you're sharing things that are going to get a reaction from people. It's overactive in a way that you're using your skill for communication and expression to kind of fill up your self-worth tank. So we're going to bring that one back into balance. The heart chakra is also very big and very beautiful, but again, the energy is fast moving and it's flowing outwards only. It's so focused on the outward projection that it's not leaving room enough for it all to come in. The solar plexus is quite small. It's underactive, so this would explain why the throat is overcompensating for it in Navi. The sacral is very still. It's very calm. Now, the root chakra, this is where we're most likely to see it in a childhood wounding. Let me see. So, and what I'm seeing here, that Navi may have been raised by a sibling, or, could have had parents that weren't as present, and she was raised by an older sibling, or an older sibling was kind of in part responsible for her a lot of the time. But there's a lot of wounds here pertaining to kind of that feeling of just being unsupported and, kind of just not given the kind of love, affection and attention that you would have needed. Okay, so Navi's grounding is partial, so we're going to take it down to full depth. And also the auric field around Navi is actually quite light and bright, and the protection is really strong. So in good shape energetically. Let's look at the twin, Carlos. Okay, so Carlos isn't looking quite as bright and shiny. Carlos has he has a very depleted auric field. His crown chakra is almost crushed. It's almost like it's been quite badly attacked. So we're just going to clear all of this out. It's just very dark and very muddy. He's very suspicious and skeptical of anything spiritual. And yet I do feel like he prays. He's got kind of a religious faith of some sort. He has a very large third eye, but it was very, very, very blocked. This is a person that really doesn't have faith in themselves and their own intuition. The heart space in Carlos is really still. It's actually not blocked at all, but it's very, very still. And his throat chakra is also very still. Yeah, so the solar plexus is very blocked. So I would imagine that he might appear to be quite exuberant, but it's a very similar energy to what we found in Navi's throat. It's kind of trying to soak up approval from his environment so that he can, feel better about himself. But the sacral is also quite small and still. So I feel like he's quite intimacy avoidant, but he doesn't have big barriers for love. It's like he wants to love. His root chakra is very blocked though. And it just feels like there was a very dysfunctional upbringing where women especially were disrespected. And he's learned a lot of his relationship habits and communication patterns from this dynamic between his parents. So he's definitely very blocked in the root chakra, has a lot of unhealthy thought forms surrounding women and their role. His grounding is quite shallow, so we're going to restore that to full depth. So we've cleared out the chakras for both parties as individuals. What we're going to do now is look at the connecting energies to see what that reveals to us about the stage they are at. So I can see straight away that they have got the sacred sexual union lights activated. This would suggest to me that they have been sexually intimate. The sacred sexual union lights only come on when there's been, some kind of heart opening during the physical act of sexual intimacy. And it definitely looks really glowing here. Now, from what I can see with Navi and Carlos, they're both very triggered right now, but neither one has really done the healing that's required. Navi's heart is open to healing, but there isn't what I describe as any significant progress on her healing path. She's kind of aware, she's kind of spiritually open, but she's also in a kind of state of non-surrender and non-investment in her kind of healing path is how I describe it. For Carlos, his heart isn't open to healing. He's not aligned with that, is what I'm seeing. Now, Carlos has a karmic partner attached. Based on where the cord is located, I would suggest that this is somebody that he's been in an on-off relationship with, and it feels very toxic. The cord is kind of at a reasonable length, and it's kind of bouncing back and forwards. So it would look to me like it's just they're kind of on and off. I'm guided that the higher self is happy for us to cut that cord, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, as I said earlier in the Q&A, this won't necessarily sever the connection between Carlos and his karmic. It will just mean that he can take back autonomy over the karma that still remains in that connection. I do also see a karmic cord attached to Navi. This appears to be a much older one. So again, This feels like some kind of wound of the past, some really old ex. I think we're talking years ago here that still needs to be, there's unresolved karma there. And we can cut that one also, which Navi's higher self is in agreement with. So we're going to go ahead and cut that one for her. So in terms of how the energy moves through the connection, it's kind of very heavily weighted on the divine feminine side. And so this is keeping them both out of emotional kind of balance within the connection, because Navi's energy is kind of restricted and not flowing freely around the connection. And Carlos's energy is kind of fractured and not moving at all. So we're just going to get that energy moving. We're going to ground the connection as well, and we're going to put divine protection all the way back around it. Now, the guidance for Navi and Carlos is for each of them to release themselves from the self-limiting beliefs that are keeping them stuck. I feel like this is a couple that isn't honest and authentic about their feelings for one another. Both of them still seem very kind of, you know, play it cool, be casual, don't reveal your feelings. And there's really a need to kind of just relax and settle into one another's energy a bit so that can flow a little bit more smoothly. So there's a need to connect with authenticity, which I'm guided needs to be something that Navi starts with through her own psychic development and connection to source. So that was what a full twin flame connection check looks like. That was to Navi and Carlos. So I'm going to move through the others. Now, as I said before, these are mini checks. So they were $22, $22 each. I'm not offering any more this evening. The list is closed. So next up, we've got Monica and Manuk. We've got Irina and Andre, Kristin and Chris, Lauren and Spencer, Jessica and Eddie, and Amanda and Pets. And then we're going to move to our guided meditation that we're going to do together. So, I'm just checking the comments now. I don't know if Navi was here and found that accurate. I don't know if she's commented or not. Okay, Monica and Manuk. So, Monica, I do see that Manuk is a twin flame. However, I have to say he is quite badly compromised at the moment. There is a lot of dark, stagnant energy around Manuk. So I'm going to clear him very quickly. We're just going to flush his aura through with light, ground him properly. Let's have a quick look at his chakras. Yeah, so his crown and his third eye were particularly blocked. There does seem to be some kind of substance use here, but I'm picking up it's probably medical, and this could be from an operation he's had. It feels like interference from an anaesthetic that he's had in a hospital environment. So we're just going to clear out his chakras and flush him through with light. My guides are going to do that for you as well, Monica. But because this is a mini check, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look straight at your connection. And I can see straight away that Manuk's got karmic up really close. Unfortunately, I can't cut that cord because this feels like a relationship that he's kind of, where there's still a lot of karma that needs to be resolved, and they need to be resolving that together. This is the guidance that I'm receiving. Monica, there is a karmic cord on your side, but it seems to be at a greater distance. My guess, based on the way this looks to me, was that this would be something along the lines of a relationship that you might be in, but you've already emotionally detached from. It's a relationship that's on its way out. I can cut your cord. I am getting permission from your higher self to do that, so we're going to go ahead and cut that karmic cord for you. Okay, that's good. So, looking at the connecting energies, now, it does feel like there's an incredible amount of sexual tension between you two, and the sacred sexual union lights aren't kind of fully on, they're sort of flickering. It feels like a build-up of sexual energy that hasn't been released. It also feels like Manuk is very closed off to the emotional nature of the triggers in this connection. You know, he's just not reacting at an emotional level to them. He's very up in his head, whereas it feels like Monica is receiving them full force. Monica has done quite a bit of healing. I feel like she's naturally very connected to meditation. And the guidance from the guidance here, let's have a look. Yeah, because the energy actually moves quite freely around the connection. It feels like Monica's fairly aligned. She's fairly balanced. She knows how to meditate. You know, she knows how to stay still. But she finds herself getting frustrated and impatient. And this causes the energy to become a bit more stagnant and kind of less free-flowing. So there's a real need for her as well to curb her need to speak spitefully when she does lose her temper. It feels like she can end up pushing Manic away because she gets so bitter and angry with him. So the guidance there is just to really be mindful of your communication and to keep it calm, and to connect with your own divinity and your intuition. So I hope that was really helpful for you, Monica and Manic. Okay, we're going to do Irina and Andre. Irina and Andre, let's have a look. Fabulous. So I do see that you guys are twins. Andre is somewhat disconnected from the connection to. So that's to say his like outer etheric is completely out of sync with his inner etheric, and it's kind of out of sync with the twin flame connection itself. So we're just going to realign all of that. My guides are going to clear each of your chakras and ground and protect you. But I'm drawn straight away back to Andre, because as I said, he's actually got quite a lot of light around him despite these problems he's experiencing energetically. And what this looks like to me is that a third party, probably Irina herself, has placed protection around him. There is kind of like a protective bubble of light that surrounds him, but it's not kind of connected to his auric field, so it's not kept everything in shape. But we can just clear that all up from him and reinstate it all. So Irina's definitely been working at protecting him. So that's great. He looks much better now. It's all aligned again. Now, what's really interesting is it would seem to me that maybe these two people haven't necessarily met in person. They've got quite a dim root chakra connection, which suggests to me that they're kind of 3D, kind of physical conscious awareness of one another might be somewhat, I don't know what the word is. I guess it's restricted. Maybe there's a big geographic distance between them, something like that. So there's a lot of triggering going on. There's a tremendous amount of built up sexual tension and the sexual union lights aren't activated. Irina has started healing, but it's hesitant. I'm hearing it's a stop-start effort and it isn't consistent. And Andre has a tendency to pull away from the connection energetically. He's very, very avoidant. That's how it feels. He doesn't want to take responsibility. I'm hearing he holds a lot of responsibility. I do see a karmic called up really close on Andre's side. I can't disconnect that. On Irina's side, there is also a cord up really close. And I feel like the karmic situations, both of their situations, is really toxic. It really doesn't feel good. It's quite dark energy. So both of you need to focus on that. I'm guided that is where your focus needs to be. In Irina, you need to make sure that you are giving enough time and space to your healing, because if you can maintain something more consistent, you're going to make more progress. It does feel like that stop-start energy. And of course, that's creating that stop-start energy within your connection. If you can stay aligned and balanced most of the time, you're going to ride through this a lot more gracefully. Okay, Kristin and Chris. Let's have a look. Are you twins or not? Kristin and Chris. So Kristin, I'm not seeing that Chris is a twin flame for you. I'm going to pull some cards for you instead. I don't see that there's any energetic connection there or that there are twin flame lights activated. Let's get some cards to see what is happening between you and Chris. What is going on between Kristin and Chris? Ace of Swords. Nine of Pentacles. Five of Swords reversed. And the Ten of Swords. It feels like there's been a lot of intense conflict in this connection. But this is about bringing yourself back into balance and harmony and making choices. We've got the Lovers here and we've got the Ten of Cups. So I do think this is a soulmate connection. This is someone you're meant to have a relationship with. It's like an ascension partner. It's how it feels. But I don't think this person will ever be as spiritually awake as you are. I think their job was just to wake you up. But there is the potential for kind of a relationship here. But I'm guided that you first need to learn how to take care of yourself and how to release the really difficult and bitter communication patterns that you've picked up in childhood. This is part of your conditioning and programming that you may find is particularly relevant to you in this particular connection. It feels like there's a lot of anger and a lot of backstabbing, pain, betrayal, deception, just a lot of really intense conflict between you and this person. And they're really triggering these wounds of your past. I feel like you trigger each other in that way. But there definitely is an opportunity for a really loving connection here. But you are being pulled back to that spiritual path. You're being asked to let go and integrate that truth. And you're being asked to bring yourself into practical alignment, to release codependency. I'm hearing specifically financial independence is important to you because this is something that you've avoided in past lives. I feel like there's been this codependent dynamic between you, Kristen, and Chris in previous lifetimes, and you're bringing these lessons forward and you're still cycling through them. But, you know, there's definitely a potential relationship for you to hear, twin flames or no. So I really hope that was helpful for you. Okay, Lauren and Spencer. Lauren and Spencer. So, Lauren. This is really interesting because I don't see that Spencer is your twin flame, but you do have divine feminine lights activated. And what this means is that you have met your twin flame, but it's what I'm hearing is it's not this person. And I think we need to use the term met loosely. This is someone that's been in your energetic awareness. They've been in your energetic awareness. So, you know, you may not know this person really well, but you've crossed paths with them at some point. But this person, Spencer. Spencer isn't your twin. Let's find out what Spencer is to you. But you are a twin flame. You're going to meet your twin flame in this lifetime. Spencer isn't a false twin. I'm not sure what he is, but he's not your divine masculine. Let's see what he is. We've got the King of Pentacles. I don't know if you're already married to Spencer. We've got the King of Pentacles, Temperance. The Hierophant in reverse. I'm getting really strongly that you might have married him, but you shouldn't. Here is someone that was to help you learn about relationships. But we've got Akashic Records and the Hierophant here. Whatever lessons existed between you are kind of already spent. Spencer's served his purpose for you. He's, you know, but look, we've got the divine feminine there, the Empress in reverse, but you are not his divine feminine. You know, that whatever relationship existed between you doesn't need to be an option now. There's no need to kind of, yeah, we've got the Hermit in reversed. You can find this truth within you anyway. I feel like, you know, yeah, there's the divine plan there is resolved. It's spent. You've learned what you need to learn from Spencer. You don't want to let it go with the Tower in reverse. You know, you keep that communication going because your intuition tells you there just might be something. It's so unusual. But he was intended to empower your spiritual journey. And you're on that path now. What I'm hearing is you don't need him anymore. You've collaborated with him in the way that which you needed to. Yeah, it's time to make decisions for you and move forward. So you don't have to, you know, stay in this person's zone of awareness. I really hope that was helpful. Okay, Jessica and Eddie. Jessica and Eddie. I'm really sorry, Jessica and Eddie, but I'm guided not to read for you this evening. This does happen from time to time. It's not personal. You know, I'm just not the reader for you. So if you drop me an email after the live, I will certainly send you a refund for your payment. I do apologise for that. It does happen. Okay, Amanda and pets. Amanda and pets. Pardon me. Amanda and pets. I'm seeing that pets is a false twin. Here's a false twin. There's a lot of darkness in your connection over on that divine masculine side where your DM is supposed to be. And what I'm seeing is pets, and he's surrounded by a lot of dark, stagnant energy. So we're going to clear that off, pets. We're going to ground and protect him. We're going to remove him from the energy of your twin flame connection. Because I do see that you've got a real twin incoming, and that pets is a major distraction from that. Now that we've kind of cleared him up, and we've also cleared him from your field, you may find that things get a little bit easier in terms of you kind of releasing that energy with him, because you really need to get on the right path to make way for the real twin flame that's incoming. I'm going to pull some cards for you as well, Amanda. We've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. We've got Strength. We've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the Devil. So this is all about just, you don't need a plan for this. You just need to recognize that this connection, this false twin thing, the intensity of that energy that draws you to this person is going to it's going to dissipate now that we've cleared him. It's going to dissipate now that your connection's been cleared. It's going to help you release that. You don't need to know how. You don't need to have a plan to move forward. You just need to know you don't need to take responsibility for that person anymore. It's going to help you find your strength. It's going to help you be stronger. It's going to help you have your, at the moment, this is blocking you from the real twin connection and that deep spiritual awakening. The energy with this person will be a lot more confusing. So I really hope that was helpful. He's blocking you from really grasping your spiritual truth, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, it's time for you to have that truth. I really hope this is helpful. I know that a lot of you find it really uplifting to find out that the person you're dealing with isn't a twin. But I think with this one, Amanda, you have got a real twin incoming. But you need to, allow this other guy, pets, to be released from your energy so that you can, you can make peace with it and leave room for a real twin to come in. Okay, so I hope that was really helpful, guys. I hope that gave you an idea of how I do my twin checks. And for those of you that received a check this evening, again, I'm sorry for Jessica and Eddie. I was just guided not to read for you this evening. It does happen sometimes. It's not personal. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your energy. It just means I'm not the right reader for you. Okay, so let's get our meditation on the road. I'm so excited to do this meditation with you. This is the first of my hashtag Unite the Collective meditations. I'm inviting anyone in this community to host their own. I will happily promote it on my page. Oh, sorry for the wobbly camera. That means that any guided meditations that are happening in other time zones, we can make sure that you guys have access to more than just mine, because I know that the times I do these at isn't going to be convenient for everyone. I'm really sorry my camera's so wobbly. Okay, so you can use this meditation anytime and as often as you would like, but the power of coming together in a group like this is really, really, really beautiful. As you will see, I'm going to be doing this again at the new moon in Aries on the 24th of March. So keep an eye on my community page. Use that hashtag Unite the Collective to find other meditations going on at that time as well. The more of us come together to meditate together, to heal together, the more power, love and healing we can send out into the world. So if you're here for the meditation, now is the time to just relax. Get yourself really, really comfortable. Now, you can use earphones if you would like. That will help block out any background noise. Obviously, if you're in a lovely place in nature, you might not want to use earphones. But if you're driving or operating any heavy machinery, please don't listen to this meditation, as it may induce a trance state. So just start by taking a really nice, long, deep breath. And I want you to breathe in through your nose to the count of 3. And then hold it for a second and release it all the way through your mouth really slowly until there's no breath left. And just begin again with a deep breath in through your nose, the count of 3. Really filling up your tummy like a balloon so that there's no room left for any more air. And then gently and very slowly releasing all of the air through your mouth. Just releasing it all the way out. Just close your eyes now and take 5 more deep breaths, just like that one. In through the nose, the count of 3. A pause and gently exhale through the mouth all the way out. Exhaling all of the tension from your body. Feeling your whole body become more and more relaxed. And the more you breathe deeply, the more easily your body sinks into a much more relaxed state. And as you continue breathing, just send instructions to your body to relax even more by saying to yourself in your mind, I relax my eyes. I relax my mouth and jaw. I relax my neck and shoulders. I relax my chest and arms. I relax my hips and legs. I relax all the way to the tips of my toes. Now continue sending these instructions to your body, beginning again with the eyes, noticing how you are beginning to relax 10 times more deeply, as every muscle in your body becomes slack and loose, and you can notice waves of peaceful relaxation washing over you. And the more you tell your body to relax, the better you feel. Just become aware now of the roots that grow from beneath your feet. Allow yourself to imagine them moving down into the earth, crashing through concrete and rubble, going down deeper through every layer of the earth's crust, your roots growing wider and stronger as they reach the earth's center where they touch light. Notice how your roots wrap themselves around this light. And as they do, you can feel this light being pulled back into your body through your roots. Feeling this light move up through your roots and back up through your feet and into your body. Filling up your body with a delicious rush of the most comforting light and grounding energy. Just allow this light to fill up your body. Notice how good it feels to be deeply anchored and grounded in Mother Earth's belly. Now become aware of a beautiful light shining above you. Allow your crown chakra to open up and receive this light. Breathing it in deeply, noticing how every cell and atom in your body opens up to receive this light. And the more you breathe in this light, the more you can sink deeply into that feeling of pure love and bliss. Completely filled with and surrounded by, connected to from above and below, this beautiful light, the energy of unconditional love and all that is. Just allow yourself to sink deeply into this light now, gently floating and drifting, feeling so supported and so loved, Feeling all the power of Source flow through you in this moment of perfect peace and harmony. Intend that you are divinely protected and become aware of the light around you forming a bubble. Intend that the bubble is sealed by a shiny layer of gold or silver, and say to yourself in your mind, I am divinely protected, in perfect peace, perfect love, and perfect trust. I am safe. It is my will, and so it is. Just take a moment to enjoy how good it feels to be cocooned in divine love and light. Just enjoying floating and gently drifting, soaking up all of this divine energy, feeling it move through your bloodstream, swirling around all of your vital organs, feeling so calm, so relaxed, safe and grounded, happy and whole. Just send out the thought now that you wish to receive divine healing to support your immune system. Send out love and gratitude to the universe and all that is, as you notice the healing light you asked for flow to you now in perfect abundance. Noticing where in your body you feel that light touch you. Notice how it feels as you breathe in the divine gift of healing light. And take a moment to really enjoy how good it feels to receive this love. And allow this healing to flow to you until you reach a point of feeling deliciously full. The more healing you receive, the lighter you become. You can feel all of your tensions just melting away from your mind and body as you release so much shadow to make room for even more light. And it feels so good as this light fills you up and you feel even better than before. And you can notice a feeling of perfect contentment glowing in your heart space and expanding outwards, out through your body, out through your own bubble and out into the other, where it connects in a blinding explosion to all the other light that is. In this moment, you may experience a rush of euphoria and pure joy as you fully embody the light. In this moment, you are connected to all that is. Just send out love and gratitude and notice how it flows back and hydrates every inch of you with even more divine light and healing. And now that you have enough light for yourself, you can see how easily it can flow from you in abundance. You radiate love and light, and you can become aware now of how you can send that light around the world. Allow yourself to imagine this light flowing to your loved ones, to your friends. Imagine it flowing down into your roots and connecting you with Mother Earth. And through that grid of earthly roots and crystalline paths, you can allow that light to travel far and wide, wrapping itself all around that is in our 3D realm and expanding outwards to connect with all that is in the 5th dimension and above. Allow yourself to be connected to all of the other happy souls that join you in meditation and healing in this moment. Just imagine that you are all connected by a vast ring of light, overflowing with radiant energy that rolls outwards in every direction, wrapping the world in divine love and healing. Declare yourself an open channel for this love. Intend that it flows freely through you and from you as it moves through the earth's light grid, empowering all who may need it. You can imagine it being delivered to all the people, places and living beings that you care about, asking Spirit to move the light wherever it is most needed, asking that it be transmuted to serve the highest good of each individual it meets, in perfect love, in perfect peace and perfect trust. And as this light radiates from you, you can notice how you feel even better than before. And you know now that the more love is channeled through you, the more love returns to you. Love is infinite and eternal. You are always connected to this divine flow of source light. And you know now that you only need to slow down long enough to breathe and bring it into your awareness. Just take a moment to enjoy how good it feels to be connected to your own truth, to one another, divinely guided, protected and healed, supporting the whole world to receive divine guidance, protection and healing. Allow yourself to overflow with gratitude for these gifts, sending love and thanks out into the universe and noticing again how this reinforces your feelings of perfect contentment as the energy of unconditional love flows through you and moves all around the world. Take a moment to show your gratitude as well. Show yourself gratitude too. Say to yourself in your mind, I love and accept myself. I am a divine being of love and light. I am worthy and deserving of a good life. I am healed and happy. I am strong and faithful. I am love. I am love. I am love. The mind moves energy. Just allow yourself to bring your awareness to where any dark or stagnant energy resides within you. And notice where in your body you feel discomfort when you locate those pockets of stuck energy. Ask that the light clears it. And feel it leaving your body. Breathe deeply and on the exhale breath, continue releasing all of that stuck energy until you feel it has all gone. Exhaling all of that dark energy from your body. Just allowing yourself to acknowledge and enjoy how much lighter you feel now. And in your own time, move your attention to a dark mass of stagnant energy within the Earth's energetic field. Allow yourself to become aware of it. And intend that the light and divine flow of love clears this too, just as it cleared you. Feeling the whole of the planet heave a massive sigh of release and relief as this dark, stagnant energy, through the collective intention and power of this group, is expelled. Notice the waves of renewal that take place in the energy around you and in the energy of the earth as this clearing occurs. You may notice even more heightened states of wellness and inner harmony as this cleansing light swirls around the earth and all that is, washing away anything that does not serve the earth or its beings for its highest good. Just send out love and gratitude once more, allowing it to flow out into the light and around the world and feeling it flow back to you even stronger, connecting you even more deeply to this divine wave of healing. And as you breathe now, you can notice a lightness in you, a lightness that feels so natural and easy and right. and your own self-healing forces are now enhanced as you notice how restored, refreshed, cleansed and connected to your soul's strength and purpose you feel, lighter and brighter than ever before, your heart and mind open to your soul's own wisdom and connected to love and all that is. Just give thanks once more, bringing your awareness and gratitude back to this life-sustaining force we call air, breathing in deeply, gently bringing your awareness to the water in your body, the sun that lights up your world, and the ground beneath your feet. Sending out love and gratitude for it all. Sending thanks for a body that is full of health and vitality. A heart that overflows with unconditional love. A soul connected to divine love, wisdom and light. And now counting gently backwards from 10. Feeling happy and calm. Slowly counting and gently stretching fingers and toes, breathing into your present awareness, bringing yourself back into the room, gently stretching, feeling so good and peaceful, eyes open and wide awake. Oh. Wow. I hope that was really nice, you guys. That was absolutely amazing. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you so much to everybody who's hung around and taken part tonight. I really hope you enjoyed that as much as I do. I will be doing another meditation like this on the 24th of March. So that's going live at 11:45 p.m. GMT. Please check on Google how that corresponds with your local time zone. And I invite you all to host your own meditations around that time of the new moon as well on the 24th of March. It's at the time of the new moon in Aries, it's just such a powerful time for manifesting. So if you use the hashtag Unite the Collective in your videos and posts, viewers will be able to find your live meditation events, and you can also email me the details and I will gladly promote your event on my YouTube community page. So the more group gatherings, the better. You know, we are so much stronger united. And I hope as tonight's group meditation demonstrated, you know, together we can make a difference. I feel amazing. That was so uplifting. And for you guys as a viewer and participant to find a Unite the Collective live guided meditation in your time zone, just search YouTube for that hashtag Unite the Collective. And you can find other readers and healers in this community that are supporting this global meditation initiative. You know, we can all make a difference together. So it really is a beautiful way to share the love. I, for one, just feel so uplifted by doing this tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. That really was beautiful. I really hope you guys enjoyed it too. Okay, so I'm sending you lots of love. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will leave this video up, so if you'd like to come back and watch this meditation, you can do that anytime. Big love, you guys. Thank you. Bye.